There you are, fabulous. Welcome, dear client, to my humble abode of all things enchanting and glamorous. I must say you've made an excellent choice in seeking my services for your upcoming Halloween soiree. I assure you, your party shall be nothing short of a spellbinding, hair-raising, and utterly unforgettable event. Will have the town buzzing for years to come. Picture this, if you will, the entrance to your venue, adorned with flickering lanterns casting eerie shadows, beckoning your guests into a world where the lines between the living and the supernatural blur deliciously. As they step inside, they'll be greeted by the haunting melodies of a jazz band, their rhythms resonating with the very pulse of the night. The atmosphere I intend to create is a mesmerizing blend of elegance and spine-tingling spookiness. Your guests will be transported to a realm of decadence, with plentiful platters of hors d'oeuvres and champagne flowing like the river Styx. But the true thrill of the evening does lie in the unexpected. Imagine hair-raising seances and intimate tarot readings held in dimly lit corners where spirits just might make their presence known. And the decor, of course, will be a spectacle to behold, with cobwebs and candelabras strewn across the rooms, antique mirrors holding hidden secrets, and narrow passages that may lead to mysterious chambers filled with curiosities from the past. The scent of incense will mingle with the aroma of decadent thematic delicacies such as blood orange martinis and goblin goulash. And as the clock strikes midnight, a bewitching fireworks display will light up the night, bidding farewell to a night your guests will not soon forget. Oh, my dear precious client, rest assured that your soiree will be a marvel, an event that will send shivers down spines and make hearts race with delight. With my expertise and your vision, we shall craft a night of enchantment and mystery that will linger hauntingly in the memories of all who return. First, allow us to discuss the prospective venues. I've positively scoured the city for the most splendid settings. First possibility is the grand ballroom at the historic Midnight Chateau. This venue is by far and away the most luxurious, high-budget choice, bathed in the allure of Parisian decor. With its high ceilings, crystal chandeliers, and palatial staircases, it's the perfect canvas upon which to paint your party. Imagine your guests floating down a regal staircase in their haunting costumes, the jazz band serenading them as they step into an otherworldly ambiance of mystery and elegance. So that's the Midnight Chateau. But if you'd prefer something a bit more in the Halloween spirit, you better believe I've got just the thing. Alternatively, we have the atmospheric Ravenswood Manor, an old, sprawling mansion shrouded in tales of the supernatural. This venue is certainly the most thematic choice for Halloween, with its dilapidated charm, ivy-clad walls, secret passageways, and such. It all lends itself to the perfect haunted mansion theme, complete with bona fide rumors of actual ghost sightings. The spirit of the former owner, Lord Ravenswood, is said to roam this manor still, witnessing witnesses have reported spotting him in his study, still absorbed in his books and his writing, entirely unaware of the goings-ons of the living. And a local historian once claimed to have encountered a spectral maid tidying up the dusty library. When he approached her, she looked up and she smiled, and then simply vanished into thin air. And, best of all, on some moonlit nights, the mansion's formal dining room is said to host a spectral tea party. Witnesses have seen ghostly figures sipping tea and conversing in hushed tones, exchanging all manner of delectable gossip, I'm sure. Oh, I'd just kill to be a little fly on that wall. We can deck the place out with cobwebs, candelabras, and eerie portraits to add to the aura of spookiness. But if your heart desires an open-air affair, the Rosemary Garden Pavilion offers an ethereal setting with lush gardens, fountains, and moonlight dancing on the leaves. This outdoor venue certainly has the potential to be transformed into the fairy tale garden party of your dreams, where masks, masquerades, and mystique reign supreme. You'd like to choose the Ravenswood Manor. Wonderful choice, my dear. I think your guests will be in for quite the fright. Right, now then, let's delve into your prospective guest list for this extravagant event. I must emphasize the importance of curating the guest list with care and precision. You see, this list is the very soul of your party, the essential ingredient that will elevate it from an ordinary, everyday gathering to a legendary affair. The art of a meticulously crafted guest list lies not only in inviting those who can contribute to the atmosphere, but also in creating a perfectly harmonious mix of personalities. We want laughter, we want intrigue, we want conversation to flow as smoothly as the champagne. It is the synergy between the guests, their chemistry, that will weave the tapestry of the night. And let us not forget the secret ingredient of exclusivity. By carefully selecting those who receive the honor of an invitation, we create a sense of anticipation and intrigue surrounding the event. It ensures that your soiree remains a highly sought-after affair, where only the most refined, the most fascinating of individuals will gather. Our first prospective recipient of an invitation is none other than Sir Chester Montgomery, the epitome of charm. He possesses a certain charisma that is known to light up the night. His tailored suits, always impeccably accessorized, make him the envy of high society. Rumor has it that he recently made a fortune trading Westinghouse electric stocks, further solidifying his position as a prominent figure in our city. The pros of inviting him extend beyond his financial prowess. His presence promises an aura of sophistication that's hard to resist. However, one must never forget the con. Just as flirtatious nature could lead to some sparks flying among your guests, it might enliven the party, but could also leave a few hearts in disarray. So what do you think? Would you like to invite Sir Chester? Too risky of a flirt. Right. Next, allow us to consider Miss Genevieve Hartley, the mysterious enchantress. She is rumoured to possess a special connection with the spirit world. Her alluring gaze has left many fascinated. She's been known to host seances and tarot readings that inspire gasps and tears The benefits of inviting her are quite clear. Her presence will lend an otherworldly dimension to your soiree, making it truly unforgettable. Perhaps Clarence Robinson, maestro of jazz. With his slick hair and piercing gaze, he commands attention wherever he goes. Rumor has it that his jazz band's recent performances have absolutely set the town ablaze. Inviting him will guarantee a night of fantastic music and impassioned dancing. Given the theme of the event, we simply must consider famed author Abigail Whitmore, the mysterious recluse and mistress of macabre tales. She's sure to lend your party an eerie ambiance that's perfect for Halloween. Her books are dark and haunting, and her reclusive nature has only added to her enigmatic appeal. The rewards of inviting her lie in the spooky reputation she carries, setting the stage for a night filled with haunting tales. However, you may wish to consider her tendency to remain aloof, engrossed in her own thoughts and stories, which might hinder her engagement in lively conversations. But personally, I believe that with so many loud, gregarious personalities, it can be quite refreshing to have a guest with such disposition. Then there's Oliver Wilson, the posh aristocrat known throughout the city for hosting extravagant parties at his collection of opulent estates. His connections throughout high society are enviable, and an invitation to him would help secure your access to the most elite of circles. Oliver has a knack for orchestrating grand events that leave guests awestruck, so his expectations are quite high. His insistence on perfection could be quite demanding and may require extra attention to satisfy his discerning tastes. But if you are interested in extending an invitation his way, I assure you I am certainly up for the task. I now suggest Lady Penelope Worthington. Her elegance and poise are unmatched, absolutely dripping with aristocratic grace. Gossip whispers that she recently returned from a daring expedition to Egypt, bringing back strange artifacts and stories of ancient curses. Her attendance is sure to bring an air of aristocratic refinement to your party, and her tales of adventure could be quite captivating. Next on the list is Barnaby Thornfield, a brilliant inventor, renowned far and wide for his eccentric gadgets and contraptions. His laboratory is a hotspot for all the curious minds of our era. Gossip suggests he's on the verge of unveiling a groundbreaking invention that could revolutionize an industry. You might appreciate his knack for sparking intriguing conversations, and perhaps we might even be treated to a demonstration of his latest creation. However, his eccentricity, if you will, can sometimes border on the bizarre, potentially unsettling some of the guests. This list would be amiss without mention of Miss Arabella Monroe, rising starlet of the film industry. She has captivated audiences of late with her undeniable beauty and talent. She's a darling of Hollywood and the tabloids, with rumors of a secret romance with a famous director circulating. Her presence is sure to add a touch of glitz and glamour to your event, and her stories from the silver screen could be enchanting. But there is potential paparazzi attention to consider. The drama that might follow her could tarnish the party a bit. Or just take renowned psychologist, celebrated for his work in the realm of the human mind. He's known for his insightful lectures and studies on dreams and the subconscious. Word has it that he's been working on a controversial theory about the paranormal. He's sure to stimulate intellectual discussions, and his insights into the human psyche could add a layer of depth to your body. I'm sure your guests will have quite a lot of questions for him. This gathering would just not be complete without an appearance by Madame Celeste Dupont, a skilled fortune teller and palm reader. She has a magnetism about her that's hard to ignore. Her tent at the local carnival never fails to draw a crowd. Gossip suggests that her predictions have an uncanny accuracy. Swarms of people clamour with desperation to hear their future laid out before them by the incomparable Dupont. Her attendance will bring an element of enchantment to your body. I'm sure your guests will all be thrilled to be provided with intriguing personal insights into their future. Another option is Miss Evelyn Sinclair, a rising star in the world of journalism. She's made quite the name for herself with her investigative reporting and captivating storytelling. Talk About Town suggests she's currently working on a sensational expose involving a powerful politician. Consider the potential for stimulating conversations about current events and her knack for uncovering intriguing stories. Her presence could lend an air of sophistication to your event. If she enjoys herself thoroughly, she might even write a glowing piece about your soiree in the papers, generating priceless buzz for your next party. However, the risk does lie in the possibility of her not enjoying herself and spreading the word about the dull experience she suffered. Then there's Mr. Sebastian Langley, known primarily by his stage name Slick. He's the star of our city's most bustling speakeasy, the Blind Tiger, where he dazzles audiences with his mesmerizing moves. Gossip hints that he's secretly been training for a prestigious international dance competition. The benefits of inviting him are unquestionable. His presence promises to bring electricity to the dance floor. His performances are thrilling and will keep the party's energy at an all-time high. The other guests will simply not be able to resist the temptation to join him on the dance floor. Now let's consider Miss Isabella Delacroix. She's graced the covers of numerous fashion magazines, and most recently turned heads in the Edna Wallace face powder campaign. You can't walk 10 steps in this town without seeing her lovely face plastered about. Her allure has left men swooning, and she's accustomed to being treated like a princess. I've heard whispers that her newfound fame has gone to her head a touch, and she's become notoriously particular, easily offended if not paid the utmost attention. The excitement and the glamour she'll bring to the evening is undeniable. Her presence will make waves, motivating highly esteemed guests to make appearances, and her admirers will undoubtedly shower her with attention, creating an intoxicating atmosphere. However, it is important to consider the possible risk of her throwing a bit of a tantrum if her expectations are not met. Mr. Samuel Smoky Malone. Now, Smoky, he is quite the character, with his impeccable taste in fine suits and a hat that's always tilted just right. He exudes a charisma that's difficult to ignore. I've heard his stories of running about with the underground crowd, tales of the daring escapades I'm sure he's played part in, should keep your guests spellbound. However, the con lays in the shadows. You see, Smokey's reputation comes with risks. He may attract unwanted attention from law enforcement or from rival bootleggers. His presence could add an element of danger to the evening, so we must be prepared for the unexpected should we extend an invitation his way. I highly recommend including the incomparable Lillian Devine, a vaudeville performer of exceptional talent. Lily is a true gem of the stage, with a vivacious personality that shines as brightly as the footlights. She's known for her captivating singing, her intricate dance routines, and her comedic timing that leaves audiences in stitches. Gossip about Miss Lily often centers around her dazzling performances at the city's most prestigious vaudeville theatres, where she's earned both fame and a legion of adoring fans. Her presence guarantees a night of amusement. She can sing the blues, make you laugh till you cry, and dance the Charleston like no one else. The energy she brings to the stage is infectious, and your guests will be enchanted by her undeniable charisma. Here is a guest who will bring a touch of literary elegance to your soiree, Mr. Theodore Whitman, a renowned poet with a penchant for weaving words into enchanting tapestries of verse. Theodore is a character of quiet sophistication, often found engrossed in his own thoughts, seeking inspiration from the world around him. The talk of Mr. Whitman tends to revolve around his award-winning poetry and his recent publication that's been the darling of literary circles. His words have a way of painting vivid imagery and evoking deep emotions within his readers. The reasons to invite Theodore to your gathering are clear as the moon on a crisp October night. His attendance promises to elevate the evening. His fireside readings of haunting poems and eloquent verse are sure to create an atmosphere of contemplation and intrigue that your Glasgow guests are sure to adore. I must say, including Amelia Covington on your guest list would be quite the daring move. She's a figure of undeniable intrigue, a stunning, fashionable, wealthy widow. Word has it that Mr. Covington's untimely demise was shrouded in scandal and mystery. Whispers of her involvement in his death, whether by accident or design, have painted her as a femme fatale of the highest order. Her ability to maintain her social standing and wealth in the face of such rumours is a testament to her resilience and charm. She exudes a high glamour with her exquisite wardrobe dripping with pearls and ostrich feathers. Her presence would undoubtedly add a touch of opulence to your event, and the mystery surrounding her past will certainly keep your guests talking. Her fashionable allure could even inspire some of your other guests to step up their own costumes. But disagreements and tensions may well arise. Your guests could have their own variety of strong opinions about Mrs. Covington's past. It's essential to be prepared for potential trauma, as her presence could easily spark debates, both whispered and spirited. Perhaps you might crave the attendance of Miss Seraphina Leclerc, a daring circus performer of extraordinary talent. Seraphina is a striking figure, known for her stunning acrobatic acts and her fearless performances under the big talk of Miss Leclerc often revolves around her mesmerizing aerial performances and her ability to captivate audiences with her daring feats. Her presence promises Let's now discuss the young gentleman whose presence at every party is an unspoken and unwelcome obligation. Master Reginald Harrington, a rather spoiled and entitled young man whose name is unfortunately synonymous with the power of his father's influence. Reginald is known well for his extravagant taste and his expectation of being catered to at every turn. It's oftentimes said that his arrival at a party is accompanied by an air of petulance wafting into the room, a stench much like caviar. The rewards of inviting Reginald are quite straightforward. Welcoming him into your event guarantees that the influential and affluent circles in town remain favourably disposed towards you. After all, his father's influence can be quite significant, and none of us desire powerful enemies. However, his sense of entitlement, it can lead to disruptions, demands for special treatment, and a certain lack of appreciation for the host's efforts. His presence might, at times, create an atmosphere where other guests feel obliged to cater to his whims. While inviting Reginald can be a strategic decision to maintain a peaceful social landscape, it's essential to strike that balance between diplomacy and your own party's enjoyment. Ensuring that his presence doesn't overshadow the genuine pleasures of the evening is the key to navigating this rather delicate situation. The last guest I have to show you will undoubtedly light up your event with her charisma and infectious charm. This is Elsie Pendleton, a beloved socialite known well for her uncanny ability to turn any simple gathering into a wild night filled with laughter. Elsie is the life of the party, the kind of guest who can transform even the dullest of occasions into a merry celebration. Her radiant personality guarantees an atmosphere of vivacity where laughter and good spirits flow freely. She's a natural conversationalist and entertainer, capable of keeping guests in stitches with her witty anecdotes and infectious humour. So, with this somewhat deeper understanding of your potential guests, my dear client, I'm sure you'll make an informed decision that aligns perfectly with the atmosphere that you desire for your Halloween bash. Together, we shall craft an unforgettable night of revelry and mystique. So, do tell, which of these prospective guests makes the cut? Yes. Right. Oh, yes, I understand. Certainly. Right, then. Just got that stick of that thing. This stick of that stick. So that stick like this over there. But placed at it. Table back and stuck on it. Automatic second chunk. Wonderful, wonderful. I'm so pleased we've sorted the guest list. Next, the catering service has a list of spooky hors d'oeuvres for you to take your selection from. Which of the following would you like to be served to your guests? The Witch's Brew, a rich and flavourful pumpkin soup served in small cauldrons, garnished with a swirl of cream and a spiderweb design. Yes or no? Yes. Devil's Eggs. Deviled eggs with a delightfully devilish red filling. Yes, those are very popular. Poisoned apples. Caramel and chocolate dipped apples with a few drops of green food colouring to give them that poisoned look. Bloody Mary shrimp cocktails. Simply shrimp cocktails with a Bloody Mary cocktail sauce. No. Ghostly canapes. Open-faced sandwiches with ghost-shaped toppings using goat cheese and capers for the eyes. Yes. Witch's brooms made of cheese and pretzels. Yes. Vampire bites. Skewers of cherry tomatoes and fresh mozzarella with a drizzle of balsamic reduction. Yes. Goblin goulash, a green split pea and meat stew. No. Coffin sandwiches, small coffin-shaped sandwiches filled with assorted fillings like roast beef, turkey, or vegetarian options. Yes. Excellent choices. I'm certain your guests will be just delighted by those spooky yet delicious treats. Now time to turn our attention to the captivating world of fashion. Your costume as the host must be nothing short of extraordinary. It's not merely a disguise, it's your statement, showing off to everyone the tone that you wish to set for the evening. It's a conversation starter. It's the centerpiece of the whole affair, an inspiration to your guests. And luckily for you, I work closely with all the finest designers in the city to offer you a spectacular catalogue of costumes to choose from. So prepare to dazzle, my dear. Prepare to sparkle and shine like the moon and stars. We'll peruse all the options. You'll let me know which ones catch your eye, and I'll send in the order right away, complete with your precise measurements. The finished product is guaranteed to be on your doorstep exactly 1 week before your party. Let's take a look, shall we? See what you like. Let's begin with the Ladies' Home Journal. What a darling cover, don't you think? I love this cat witch gazing up at the lanterns, with her cape flowing out behind her, moons undertow, charming little ruffles about her elbow, corseted bodice, big fluffy skirt with a cat, a cat, a cat, a cat. A fairy. Let's see what patterns they've got in store for us. Oh, goodness. Off to an excellent start. You could be Pirate with the ruffled collar and sleeves and waist, little clown puffs on the shoes. The face of everyone that passes by me is a mystery. The costume has been adapted partly from Perrault and partly from the character of Harlequin, who represents a fool in French pantomime. The face may be painted white and the lips carmine. Perrault, with that lovely tall pointy hat, who lives without folly is not so wise as he thinks. Claire de Lune, the fairy of moonlight. This is a graceful and airy costume to depict either the fairy of moonlight or the goddess of the night. The fairy of moonlight appears when the moon is in the heavens, shedding a silver light over the flowers, the grass, and the water. The goddess of the night comes to light up the night only when the fairy of moonlight withdraws her brilliancy and the streams and fields are in darkness. Oh, I this could be a good option for you, I think, with that red tie around the head, the hoop earrings, the necktie around the waist, those tattered edges, lots of jewellery, the tights and the band around the ankles. Typical 1850 costume. Light of Way, Good Little Fairy, Marie Antoinette, George Washington. The Moon Witch from the cover. I do quite like this one. Do you? What do I think of this particular catalogue? My favourites for you would be either the Pirate, the Fairy of Moonlight, or the Perot. I think you could pull off quite well. So that's it for the Ladies' Home Journal, but not to worry if none of those really struck your fancy. I've got another. Weldon's Fancy Dress for Ladies and Gentlemen. These 1800s Marie Antoinette sort of looks seem to be very, very exceedingly popular this year. I can see why. What lady doesn't like to flitter about looking like a princess? This pink tulle looks just smashing, and it's hemmed in these complicated patterns of blue leaves reaching up, and a bit of embellishment there. Matches the blue hat. It looks like a Perot is her date. Styles that will be in the limelight, allegedly. 1880 period dress, Puritan maid, Arcadian shepherdess, Regency period, Pompadour, Georgian courtier. Mary Bryan says her favourite costume is the Scandinavian maid. I can see why that does suit her. What about Marion Davies? Is the one she wore in Phoebe. That's quite pretty as well, yes. Oh, I'm just mad for this one. Look at that. My garden. She's got a potted plant atop the head with blossoms coming out. Gorgeous green dress with the tutu adorned and embroidered flowers, the matching green tights and shoes. And it could be a couple's costume. The gardener with the green apron and shoes to match with her, and red to match the potted headdress, scissors for the trimming, ribbons for the decorating, I suppose. The toy ballet is good fun, and the witch is beautiful. A nice classic, but a playful twist. I haven't ever seen it done in yellow before, and I like the way the yellow is on the underside of the hat and the cape. Yes, I think either of those would be very good on you. I like this dress that Nancy Carroll is in. Looks like a silver mini dress with Halloween themed appliques of witches, cats and pumpkins, and a cute pair of bat wings. Oh, night could be pretty on you. I think I like the Fairy of Moonlight better though, if we were to take things that sort of direction. None of the others on this spread are particularly catching my lift your arms dramatically to reveal your wings. Yes, I think that would make for an excellent entrance. Look at those antennas on her head. Percy the penguin, that's silly. A cottage window. You can see down the middle. There's the lattice stained glass. The sides of her dress are the drapes drawn in at the waist, and the flowers decorating the windowsill atop her head. Victorian doll. 1815. A bottle of Wincarney's wine. I like this rose one, the way that her skirt is comprised of the layers and layers of petals, and then the stem is the bodice. Then nice flowery touch on the head. Oh, look at these seasonal costumes. We have spring, summer, and autumn. Autumn is certainly my favourite, with that cobweb headdress. How clever. We have Eve with the leaf dress, and she's wrapped about by the snake. I love that. The dragonfly, the head atop her head, and the wings draping down her back as a cape. A devilish affair, couple's costume. Oh, I think anyone would look very nice in this. It just seems like a flattering costume. She's even got the little instrument there, and she's perched atop a mushroom. Puss in Boots, with the boots naturally, the gloves, the cape, the whiskers and the ears. You would look sweet in that. I cannot deny that my absolute winners were the butterfly and the bunch of violets. What do you think of those? If I'd really had to choose, I think I'd say the butterfly. Would you be happy with that? Oh, good. And would you be pleased with it in yellow, or would you prefer pink, purple, blue, any colour you like? Yes, I do think the yellow would be a smashing hit on you. Wonderful, I'll send that in with your measurements right away, and that will be ready for you in no time. So now that we've got the costume sorted, I thought maybe you'd like to take a quick look at a couple of pokey pokes and see if any decorations speak to you, and I could have them prepared for your party. Let's see. I'll start with this one. Halloween is the one time of all the year when witches, ghosts and elves hold gay revels. Come and join them What's your favorite of these illustrations? Could it be the bat? Might it be the witch? Or the moon? Or the pumpkin? The scarecrow? Oh goodness, look at this cat's had quite the nasty fright. I quite enjoy the owl perched on the branch, the full moon behind. There are some traditions you probably know of Halloween parties that just ghost to show that strange apparitions will always appear. They know of my party and spectre be here, so I write to invite you to my party on Halloween night. And look at these footsteps leading up to the doorway. We could do that if you like. These owl decorations, or the cats, or the pumpkins. A weird creature through whose ghostly robes one must push one's way to mount the stairs, and the cave-like entrance to the pirate's den. How peculiar. I don't know. I don't think I'm too keen on the idea of forcing your poor guests to make their way through this mess. No, your lamp is a scarecrow and old clothes, just the same as for a real one, are utilised. All sorts of weird sounds can be expected to come from this loudspeaker. Pumpkin with features cut out in crepe paper, hair and ears added. Chandeliers of all shapes and sizes. Oh, this one of the umbrella is funny. I think I like this one the best. Number 2. Decorations for the refreshment table are very important. Got a pumpkin, cat, a pumpkin. Nice tablecloths. Do you like any of those? With the pumpkin and the cats, the tassels, the drapings. I think the drapings are nice. Bright decorations overhead add to the gala effect. Doorways and windows in festive dress. Look at those cuties peeking through. They suggest to transform the attic, cellar, sun porch, garage or barn into a pirate's den and have the refreshments served there. Games, stunts, costumes, hats and masks, broom dance, blindfold witch fortunes, rhyming fortunes. One whom you shall see very soon will surely be your bride in June. June is the month of weddings gay, and yours is on the 7th day. Someone with whom you'll cross an ocean will this night promise her devotion. Devotion to a man, I fear, will starve the hopes for your career. No math at all at my event. God forbid. Cheshire Cat contest, ghosts, treasure hunt, pumpkin dance. They've got a few Halloween, a few costume suggestions. Oh, this girl looks precious. A witch, pumpkin, cat, bat, possibly. Well then, that was good fun. Right then, now that we've got the costume sorted, that's everything I wanted to discuss with you at today's meeting, planning your Halloween soiree. I had such a ball working with you today. I can't wait to continue getting absolutely